let's flip a coin. Heads Carolina, tails California.
Hello, my friend Christoph. He realizes that as you travel around the planet, you need a way to make money. So this can be very difficult to do it mobilely or anywhere and everywhere on the planet from an internet cafe or whatever. So he does currency trading. I'm going to show you a video now where he basically talks about his currency trading. He is actually a member on the hobotraveler.com community, and if you join, you can communicate with him, and I'll try to put the link to his profile on the website.
Hello, my name is Christoph, and I have been following Andy's travel blog for many years. I'm not an adventure traveler like Andy is. I have traveled frequently, but more as a tourist. The longest time I stayed out of my home for travel was 3 months when I went to Thailand many years ago. I enjoyed that very much. It was a great experience. And I now still following Andy on his blog. And I've watched him talk about ways to make money on the internet, or the issue of making money while traveling, not having to return home. What my dream had been many years ago was to be able to work on over the internet wherever I was in whatever country, and I ran across currency trading, which was opened up for me as I had a very bad back condition, saw my chiropractor, and my chiropractor basically was just starting to meddle with trading currencies. So I've several times said to Andy, I'm going to write something about making money on the internet while you're traveling. Now, I haven't really done that. I have traded basically mostly from my home, and it's also not a quick way to make money because it takes extensive knowledge and training to go around the pitfalls that present themselves to new venturers into this whole world of trading currencies or whatever you're trading. Currencies are a relatively good area for trading short-term or longer-term, and I will not be able to cover a lot. I have studied with both basically two teachers. One was Forex mentor Peter Bain, Canadian resident, and then Chris Laurie. Chris Laurie is a very amazing man. So these two people, I've been following as teachers, and I've traveled extensively years ago to actually take live courses. I wanted to accumulate information. I've made all the mistakes that newcomers to this area are making, lost money, and now I'm trying to get to a point with my skill that I can compensate for the lack of funds. I'm not a rich guy, but I'm trying to compensate with knowledge and skill for the lack of very high funding, because psychologically, if you have a large account, it's kind of like a large pillow or so to sleep on. It gives you a lot more psychological freedom and calm while you're trading when you have a cushion. And I don't have a lot of a cushion. So what I've been doing is I've been trading very small amounts nowadays, You have brokers all over the world that offer you micro accounts where you can trade very, very small amounts, so easing your stress, psychological stress while you're trading, because that is always there. Another part is definitely taking care of yourself like an athlete. Trading currency is oftentimes compared with being a high-performance athlete. But theoretically, you can do this from anywhere in the world where you have a sufficiently high-speed internet connection and a telephone, because if things break down, you want to be able to call your broker and say, take me out of this trade. You know, if your computer breaks down or your internet goes down, you need to have a way out, because you're mostly going to trade with some fairly high leverage, and it can quickly go too far against you when you can't watch. So I'm going to try to say a few things about why it is possible and show you some charts. I'm watching charts every day and for many hours oftentimes, and I do a lot of practice trading, and plan on reopening an account very soon, so that I can actually test my skill. I've accumulated considerable skill now in many areas of the market analysis and trading skills, and a lot of those skills pan out by just knowing the animal. You know, you initially definitely want to focus on maybe one currency pair. This is USD CHF, the Swiss franc that I've been lately watching, basically based on a longer time frame analysis that I've done. I have a certain skill in analyzing what's called COT data, which is a commitment of traders. That's a whole other thing. But here, for example, you see this is a trading platform called MT4, and you see candles. This is the most popular imagery of market price movements, and you see things like this are called wicks, and these are called Japanese candlesticks, and this was a Japanese invention that was brought to the West not so long, end of last century, so it's not that old. Before that we had a different kind of imagery, and very old traders still use the kind of bar chart, line chart, etc., etc. But I've been using this platform now for many, many years. I've been in this field now for, I think, over 12 years, and I've customized certain things, like the information on the chart. You see it's a 4-hour chart, so one candle represents 4 hours of price movement, and you can go down to a much smaller time frame. And I'll talk later about what this is. This represents volume. And for example, here's a 15-minute chart, and you see the same kind of candles, but one candle represents 15 minutes. Okay, and when you study price, the nature of price, you'll see similar things happening over and over again. Like, you'll see a fast price move. When you watch these candles, you can see that here, this area here, is a fairly fast, we call it illiquid move. There was not much there wasn't much selling going on, a lot of buying, and a fairly thin market. So there was a fast move, and oftentimes these moves become vulnerable to price moving back to where the move started, or close to where it started. Oftentimes it comes back to here. altogether this is a fairly thin move, and it's already started coming back. So when you look at a 30-minute chart, and forgive all my stuff on here, these are other tools on there and notes basically. These lines here, the beginning of a session, what we call a session. There's too much to talk about to really get into everything. I have to really watch out so I don't start to ramble, but the move I was talking about is here, is a fairly thin move, and very likely price is going to come back to here and then struggle, do some correction. Maybe we talk about testing and retesting. Like here was a very, very nice thin price move, and it was taken back. Like you see, it's very, very likely oftentimes that price gets taken back on a thin move like this. And so when you see this kind of thin move, you're trading short, meaning you're selling this pair because you can make money buying or selling. Then when you see this kind of move, you're already concerned that they'll come and retest, which is what happened. And Friday, this was a very nice trade I got into. And my longer term outlook is that the Swiss franc will strengthen over the next period, time frame. You never know if that's actually going to happen, but that's my theory. And then so you may well retest this and then go further down, or it could go a different way altogether. But this is what we do, and then you can enter price in this platform. You click a platform and you can sell or you can buy, and here you tell how much you want to buy in terms of units, and then you click it and it enters, and then if you're buying, you can sell it when it moves up, gets more expensive. It's like an auction process. And these are profiles, volume profiles, or also called market profiles. I'm not going to get into it too much, but you can see peaks and valleys, and this typically, these deep valleys typically are sensitive areas. You can see price came to it. There was a lot of shifting going on, sensitive area, as well as the peaks. And we can also see that this area was very thin in terms of volume, this thin price move. So this was a profile for this session. I like them lately, and I'm not going to talk much more about them right now, but I can see the beginning of a session, and then when we came back up here to the beginning of this session, there was a reaction here, and so on. So, and down here shows me the average range for the last 5 days is 47, and that day it did 50. So my trading style is called volatility trading, so we like to see thin moves like this and take advantage of it at sensitive price areas. So, and we'll switch back and forth between different time frames. So interesting thing here is you can see how price kept testing the upside, kept being rejected. We can see that by these wicks. It's a fast move, fast reaction, and it kind of made it what we call a rounded top. So slowly, the participants were they weren't trying as hard anymore. People started to go the other way, and we had a very nice move pushing out of this range, and now we had a retest. So it's a 4-hour chart. So when I trade, I also watch another platform. I watch the S&P 500 to see what's going on the rest of the market. Nikkei here, and the euro. The euro is running very parallel to the Swiss franc at the moment. But it is possible to make money with trading currencies or stocks, but I don't know much about stock. I don't follow much of it, but I follow indices like the S&P, Nikkei, and so on. And on this platform I can see a lot of different things. Let me go back to my trading area. This is a profile that shows you volume at certain levels. You can see this was I marked this one as a very, very favored price. There's a lot going on around this price area. You can see this kind of belly here, and volume gets thinner and thinner down here. So and you can see this area here. This was quickly retested, taken back, which is a very common thing, and we had a reaction here. I make these lines always to indicate areas where I expect some reaction. I went all the way back to down here, and then to the bottom of this run here. This was I forget what it was, but it was I think European Central Bank talking. Oftentimes the market goes wild when this happens, and shot back down, and then it could drive you nuts if you're not familiar. But anyway, this was I was watching this as it was going on, and the price kept going back up and then getting rejected. So I like trading fairly short term, but this is Swiss franc. I've been trying to get into. I expect it to go down, meaning Swiss franc strength. This Swiss franc against the US dollar. So an up move is dollar strength, a down move is Swiss franc strength. I think we're heading towards the Swiss franc. I'd say, if you are interested in learning this kind of trade, you have to find that you can have enough passion for it and love, so that you can push through the difficult times, because a lot of trading is a counterintuitive kind of business to get the best entries. We tend to want to chase price, like if price goes this way, you want to trade this way. But once price is taken off, it will oftentimes turn back and just scare you away, knock you out. So the best way of trading is knowing sensitive areas and taking advantage of the reactions at these levels. So here one could have thought that things will just keep going, but exactly the opposite thing happened. So to trade, you open an account with a broker. I'd say minimum of $2,000 account. I'm looking right now for a $3,000 to $5,000 account. I feel comfortable with that, and then trading very small portions and making money over time. It's not a quick get rich scheme. The most common thing is that people think they know too early. They think they know what they're doing, and they lose all their money. So don't do that. So it's not a quick thing. It's something to be learned. So we use tools. A lot of professionals use Fibonacci, and then there's other indicators like momentum indicators. This is called stochastics. And you see here, this will show you momentum. So when these lines widen, it measures the momentum in this direction. Then momentum starts to fade, and it actually starts to diverge. So we have kind of a level or upline where things drift down here. So momentum is getting squashed and then eventually pushes things down. It's a whole other skill to read momentum indicators. This one, another famous one, is MACD, which is not on this chart right now. Let me see. I like stochastics. I sometimes look at MACD, but it's a whole other thing to learn to work with a trading platform like this one. I'm very comfortable with it at this point. It's called MT4, and a lot of currency brokers make this one available. One thing before I close I should mention is that you can practice this kind of trading for free basically with any broker. I'm using here a broker called FinFX in Finland, and the advantage is they accept US brokers, US clients. Not every foreign broker accepts US clients because US is super regulated, and actually you feel kind of squashed by it. The limit leverage to 1 to 50, while I like 1 to 100. So I've checked this one out. The platform seems to always been on and working, and kind of like it has fairly good reputation. So I thought this might be interesting for some of you. It's definitely possible to learn to trade currency successfully, but it will take for many of us years to really master it. And the trick is to know that you have the passion for it and stick with it for a long time without losing all your money. Okay? So thanks for watching. I'm gonna take off for now. If I can talk more about this if Andy wants me to.
We can pack up tomorrow. Tonight, let's flip